PJ Washington just made a huge statement in his return game to the Dallas Mavericks after missing the last 7 games due to an ankle injury. And although the Mavericks did lose to the Philadelphia 76ers, PJ Washington put on an amazing performance. Definitely a bounce back game from the last time we saw him play. And after the game, PJ Washington had a lot to say about fans and how they're booing at the games to how the Dallas Mavericks played and why they should have won. So, in this video, we're going to take a look at everything that happened this afternoon, the Mavericks, how good they played, how bad they played, and what was it that PJ Washington had to say. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with this video, as always, you can catch us over there on Spotify. The link is in the description below. If you can't watch all of our videos, you can still catch the audio over on Spotify. Make sure you check us out. But the Dallas Mavericks, as we're continuing the rest of this season with about 13 games left, we are still trying to find ways to win games, as today's game against the Philadelphia 76ers, it was a winnable game. We definitely could have, especially when you look at how many players were sitting out. And if we look at this right here, you may need to just zoom in a little bit, but this was the very lengthy injury report for the 76ers as well as the Dallas Mavericks, as we only played 8 players. The Dallas Mavericks only played 8 players. The Philadelphia 76ers, although they had a very long list of injured players, they only played 10 players. Still had 2 more than the Dallas Mavericks, and yet we only lost by 5 points. Like I said, a winnable game. PJ Washington also thought it was a winnable game. If we take a look at the box score, we can go over that right now. PJ Washington, in his return to the Dallas Mavericks, had 29 points, 1 steal, 2 assists, 12 rebounds, shot 7 of 9 from the free throw line. He was 0 of 3 from 3. However, he was 11 of 17 from the floor. PJ Washington looked amazing. Looked exactly like who Mr. Stand on Business is for the Dallas Mavericks. Looked like he didn't miss a step at all. And before he did have to miss the last 7 games due to his ankle injury, where he did say he felt like he did return a little bit too soon, a lot of people were worried about PJ as he wasn't really playing his best. And obviously you have those knee-jerk reaction fans who thought that, oh, PJ's washed, he's trash, we need to trade him. But the real fans realize he's still hurt. He's not 100% healthy, and he needs more time. And in today's game, he definitely proved that. And although the Sixers didn't have Paul George, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, or any of their actual good players, PJ Washington still shined tonight. The only downside to his game was his turnovers, as he did leave the Mavs with 4. You never really want to see PJ bring the ball down. You don't want to see him dribble too much, because this is typically the result. You get a bunch of turnovers. And Naji Marshall today had another great game. He had 21 points, 1 steal, 6 assists, and 8 rebounds. Was 4 of 6 from the free throw line. Was only 1 of 7 from 3 and shot 8 of 20 from the floor. Definitely want to see Naji limit those threes. He's taking as much as Klay Thompson, although he's not hitting them at the same clip as Klay Thompson. But Kessler Edwards as well had 5 points, had 1 block, 1 assist, 7 rebounds, shot 1 of 2 from 3, and 2 of 3 from the floor. Kessler Edwards as well as Brandon Williams only have a small handful of games left that they're allowed to play. And so we have to make a big decision around April 10th around who we're going to sign, who we're going to give that last roster spot to. A lot of people think it should be Kessler Edwards. A lot of people think it should be Brandon Williams. And honestly, I feel like you can't go wrong with one or the other. They both provide a lot for this team in many different ways. Klay Thompson tonight in 35 minutes had 21 points, 1 steal, 2 assists, 3 rebounds, shot 3 of 7 from 3 and 9 of 15 from the floor. When the threes weren't necessarily falling in the first half, he was definitely opting into driving, getting some long range twos, some middies, and just finishing at the rim, in which Klay Thompson can obviously do. Definitely want to see that 3-point percentage get a little bit better, but I'll take 3 for 7. And to round out the starters, Brandon Williams in 32 minutes had 11 points, 1 block, 1 steal, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, shot 5 of 5 from the free throw line, 0 of 3 from 3, and 3 of 8 from the floor. Definitely felt like he shot a little bit better when you watch him play. There's a lot of good things that Brandon Williams brings to the Dallas Mavericks as far as playmaking, just ball handling, passing, and the ability to score and finish at the rim. Is very much similar to how Kyrie plays, and it makes sense because he studied under Kyrie Irving. Brandon Williams, like I said, with Kessler Edwards, 2 guys that we definitely want to see on this team down the road. They've earned it. They're showing promise, especially Brandon Williams, who can definitely be a much better option at the point guard position than Jaden Hardy, Dante, or even Spencer Dinwiddie. And to finish up the box score off the bench, like I said earlier, we only played 8 players. We had 3 guys off the bench. You had Dwight Powell in 13 minutes, had 2 points, 3 assists, and 1 rebound. Spencer Dinwiddie in 36 minutes had 18 points. He had 7 assists, 4 rebounds, was 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 1 of 6 from 3, but 6 of 15 from the floor. Again, if the threes aren't falling, let's not just keep chucking up those threes, but it is Spencer Dinwiddie. What else do we expect from him? And bouncing back from a string of bad games was Max Christie. In 30 minutes, he had 18 points, 1 block, 3 assists, 8 rebounds, shot 2 of 4 from the free throw line, 4 of 6 from 3, as well as 6 of 8 from the floor. Definitely good to see Max Christie having that bounce back game, looking a lot better with the team. And I've always thought that Max Christie plays a lot better when he has more of the full team around him, and whenever he's thrust into a starting position or in a role that maybe isn't the most comfortable for him, then we do see his production kind of fall off. But PJ had a lot to say, but we also got to talk about just PJ. We were just talking about PJ a lot in his return. He had 29 points, 12 rebounds, was 11 of 17. Welcome back, King, of course. PJ Washington is the glue on this team. He's definitely been a huge factor in our way in how we win games this season. Earlier in the season, whenever he was out due to injuries, it was very hard for us to win, and that still rings true today. Glad to see him back. Although we still lost with PJ. It still was a winnable game, and even PJ had to address that. Mike Curtis asked PJ Washington about the Mavs' execution in the fourth quarter, and PJ said, just the whole game. We were terrible on the offensive end. We beat ourselves with that. We had 15 turnovers. That's unacceptable. It shouldn't have even got down to the last shot. If we don't turn the ball over, we win the game. And obviously, like I showed you guys in the box score, PJ Washington had the most turnovers out of anybody on the Mavericks with 4. So you could look at it as PJ Washington being bluntly honest with why we lost today, and also kind of taking accountability as he did have the most turnovers. PJ Washington, as well as the rest of the guys on this team, aren't necessarily sold on tanking. That's not really an option that players have. That's definitely a front office decision whenever a team wants to tank. So it's fair to say that PJ Washington, Klay Thompson, even Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving still want to see this team compete, try their absolute best, win as many games as possible. And for all the people that actually go to these games, I'm sure it feels good to watch them win, even if it feels like a pointless win, even if we win every single game between now and the end of the season and we're still the 10th seed. You still want to see these guys win. You still want to see them perform at a high level. And in this game that came down to the last shot, we were down by 3. We had the inbounds. We got it to Spencer Dinwiddie, who just turned around and just threw up a quick 3. There was no setup. There was no time. He had 12 seconds left. He just said, nope, go on, boom. Could have got it to Klay, who was 3 of 7. Could have got it to Max Christie, who was also hot. But they gave it to Spencer, and then he took it upon himself to just throw up the shot. So obviously, this was a tough loss for the Dallas Mavericks, especially when they obviously felt like they were the better team. They were just a more short-handed team. But not only did PJ Washington have a lot to say about the loss and what happened, he also had a lot to say about fans, as fans are still going to the game in their own form of protest against the organization and their decision to trade Luka Doncic. A lot of them have been opting in to say fire Nico or start fire Nico chants. And PJ Washington had this to say about one of the hecklers during today's game. PJ Washington, on hearing fire Nico chants during Mavs free throws, saying, at the end of the day, the trades happened. We understand we have a new team now. All that fire Nico stuff, we're sick and tired of hearing it. We just want to go out there and play, and we need the fans support us no matter who's on the floor. That's just how I feel about it. And it's good to see some player speak out about this, because obviously the fans are going to feel how the fans are going to feel. But there's still 14 guys on this roster that need our support. PJ, Najee, everybody that's still suiting up when we barely have anybody. When it feels very bleak that we're even going to win games, they still go out there, they try their best, they compete at the highest level to try to give the fans something to be happy about. But when you're constantly being reminded of what happened a month ago, when you're constantly being reminded by the fans that they're upset, it can kind of get on your nerves. And obviously PJ Washington had that to say, that people yelling fire Nico while he himself is shooting free throws is getting very, very annoying. They just want to win games. They just want the support of the fans. And I agree with PJ Washington. But to finish up today's video, we got ourselves Guess That Maverick. He's currently a Dallas Maverick, doesn't have that much time left on the team, but has been showing out and just really winning over everybody. So let me know who you think that is in the comment section down below. But that's what I got for you guys today. Thank you for making this far to the video. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. Consider becoming a channel member. We are doing a giveaway every single month on this channel. Only way to enter our giveaways is to become a channel member of any tier. But till next time, y'all take care. Drink water. Peace.